I did not know that you were such an R, like, whiz.
I am
I've
not
been
an R whiz.
struggling with this code for like 3 months now.
Well, yeah, there's a rule in our department that the one of the I can't remember the guy. He's retired now. His rule was that if you struggle for more than 5 minutes, go ask somebody. That was his thing. Because otherwise, he said you were wasting time.
Let's do it. I'm just here watching. This is your thing. I'm trying to learn.
Okay. Now I think it'll work. I hope. Let's find out. Oh my gosh. So
It
dumb.
worked. No, it didn't work.
It did work, but I ended it. I forgot. Like when you bind it, you need to get the old one first. Put it with the new one, and I left it
Oh.
out. Okay. Let's try this one more time. I think this one's gonna work.
And this is running through all 10 of the columns.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little time to go through depending on how many columns I have.
Right. Right. It will get longer the more columns you start to add.
But it probably won't take it'll be less manual work on me and probably faster than me copying and pasting and probably less error.
Yeah, it'll be just as fast. It'll be faster than you because it's still doing the same exact thing you were doing before, but now it doesn't have to do the manual change. So you can time it if you want to, and then you would know how long it takes. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah. No, don't stop it. No, because it's taking like forever. Not forever, but it's taking time. Oh, did you just ask it to record its time?
Yeah, the next time you run it, it'll record all the time. Yeah, so you'll know how long it takes.
Oh man, that's cool.
So this is useful when you run like large sets of code. You know how long you can leave your office and then come back.
No, it's just like doing a legitimate experiment.
Exactly.
But like, this is data analysis. That's so cool. And you can do all of this in R. Like, this is what R is.
Crap. What did I do? Number of rows result is not a multiple of vector length. What the heck did I do?
Can I further explain the code to you and maybe
Oh,
that'll
there we go.
help? Oh, so it did do it. Yeah, it did it. No, wait. It put all of the same.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Across. So it didn't move to it
Right.
recorded. So essentially, it went through the same worm instead of moving to a new worm. It went through the same worm 10 times.
Yes. So D E V J.
Do you have to do like?
This is worm 10. Yeah, this is worm 10. It's changing. So it went through the worms, but somehow it saved them the wrong way. Because I'm looking, if I change this code, this is the same code it's looking at. And I can see, right, it's changing the worm. So you can look up at and you see it's using
Yeah, the numbers are changing.
Right, so it's going through the worms, but I'm having lots of issues saving it, and I can't figure out why I can't figure this out.
Can I explain anything about the code itself?
No, it's really just this part. This is something I'm doing here isn't working.
So you're column binding the output with the unlist of the peak.
Yeah.
And the peak is it because the peak of R bind is the column of EV1J? Like, does that have anything to do with the fact that it's not, well, J is the variable, so never mind.
Yeah, so it should change. This is going to be one person, and it should bind that column, and then it should change people, do another calculation, and bind the next column. But something I'm doing makes it save the same thing. And I honestly don't know why that is the case. So this part works. I can see this part works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Let's see if I can. Run this. Stop that. Eric. C is 1. Okay. Let's try something else. Let's see if this will work.
You could also shorten and do maybe like, when you say you're doing phenomenal, is that like,
it's a serious statement?
Yeah. Or is that more like a, you say it and you are it?
I am it. It's a serious statement. Like, so when I first started grad school, like the first 2 years were like hell. And I almost failed. I failed the exam twice. I just couldn't figure it out. And I was at a real low, like a real low. And ever since I passed that exam and I studied really hard. I got really good at the material, and then I did really well. Then I had the utmost confidence. But ever since then, nothing was worse than that situation. Like, there's nothing you could happen, at least it hasn't happened, that could make me feel like I felt then. So every day for me is phenomenal because I know where I was, and I know I was literally on the edge of being kicked out. Like, the committee had to decide, should we give him another chance? All these kind of things. So for me, I'm doing phenomenal.
Okay.
God damn.
That is a perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, so people think I'm kidding, but I'm like, nah, man, this is a serious statement. Like, I am serious.
So don't take this as anything in one ear and out the other. That is a perspective that I don't have that not even optimistic, but I don't even have that baseline level of understanding. I had a horrible first year. But I am so much better now compared to my first year. But I'm always thinking about why I don't have what I want to get done. I never think about where I've come from.
Yeah, for me, the glass is actually full, right? Half of it is with water and half of it is with air. So I saw the bad stuff and I was there. It was terrible, but there was also some good stuff there. Oh, why can't I get this to work? Oh, man. Why can't I get this to work? I can't figure this out, and it's really annoying me.
But you got it to work.
List. Then I remove P. Oh, crap. Oh, wait.
Is this something to do with the current labeling within the original code?
Well, I just realized that if I never delete peak, then when I add stuff, it also adds to the old peak again. I didn't realize that the first time. So now I need to reset peak every time.
That may be it. Because
Yeah,
isn't that building off of...
It's supposed to build off of each worm, but the way I was doing it, I was building on to the worms. So the worms were getting longer and longer, or the worm data was getting longer and longer. So this one here might work.
I really like that. Your glass is half full, but it's full, and it has air in it, and that's still something. I like that.
Someone told me that when I was in high school, and I just never forgot it. Like I just never ever forgot that statement until when all that stuff was happening to me. Like that's what I was thinking about, but it didn't work. I was really depressed. Then when I passed, I was like, oh yeah, now I understand. So you should just choose to be phenomenal. Just make the choice. Ha! We're getting somewhere. Got it. All right, there we go.
Why does it say output 1? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Oh, because the first row I made a 1.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see that now.
Yeah, you don't really need that. But the rows themselves, I guess does each worm have a different number of peaks? Like they're not required to have the same amount of peaks.
No.
Okay, so then you might always get this error then. Number of rows is not a multiple of the rest of them. So that means that they're not all the same. Yeah, so this was the issue. I think this was the thing. So remember we were looking at the top and the tops were all the same. But probably if we kept going down to the very, very bottom, you would see something different because it was like one here, but then the other one was like this long, and then the other one was like even longer and longer and longer and longer. I think that was like the issue.
Okay. So then can you scroll back up to the top of this code? So you typed in length, so you don't have to type in the number anymore?
No. So if you have a data set with more than 10 worms, say you got 15, then this will know loop through 15 worms.
Gotcha.
Instead of 10. So it's easier if you like define something and then find the length of it. Because then if ever that length change, you don't have to do anything.
Gotcha.
So we call this like hard coding. I tried to avoid hard coding. Like this is like a hard code. This might change. If this ever changes, then you have to continuously change it.
Yeah. That's why I chose such a big number, 1799, because like nothing will ever be more than that.
Makes sense.
So I never have to change that number. So at this point, the only thing that I ever have to worry about changing is from EV to ADSL or whatever the genotype is.
Yeah. And then, well, I guess when you go back to Excel, you'll see that the number of rows are not the same for all of them. So I don't know if your analysis will require you to fix that problem or not, right? Because we're always going to have a different number.
Oh yeah, no, that it doesn't matter that they're different numbers.
Total entries 143. So this means that
it stopped.
Yeah, because the first one is 143, so it stops the rest of them at 143. If that's an issue, then what we can do is...
So should I just always make sure that my longest one is the first one?
I mean, you could, but I'm just gonna I'm just gonna add like to make this to like 2000. So it'll just, the first row will be like super long. First column will be super long. And so what this should do is basically 2000 now will be like the max, or it should be.
Will it feel, so let's say the row is 143 observations. Will it fill the rest with anything?
I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. I don't actually know. So we'll see. My hope is that it just stops. Like it just stops at 143. If the other one's like 75, it just stops at 75. I don't know if it'll like iterate them and try to make them all the same length.
Yeah.
And if that's a problem, you can probably tweak this a little bit more There's some
I
stuff
can
you can do to
definitely
stop that.
play around with it. Wait, do we have it to where it will export as a CSV file?
We can do that.
Or, oh no, you said I can export it straight out of R, right?
Yeah. Well, when I say that, I mean like write, like save it as a CSV. That's what I mean when I say that. Like we can do another like write.csv.
Yeah.
Like I can do, yeah. Like I can do write.csv output file equal, I don't know. EV.
You can just say EV and then I'll change it as need be.
Okay. We also need to do this. So what this will do is get rid of that like first column that I added.
Oh, gotcha. Where it says 1.
Yeah, so it'll just delete the first column.
Gotcha.
And then you don't have to do that in Excel.
And then also you had mentioned that I could go through R and remove all of the blanks instead of manually doing that by doing remove.na?
Which one am I using? So you could do something like is.na.
Oh, is.na. Sorry.
And then this will tell you which ones have an NA, so you can tell it to only give you back columns that don't have NAs. There's also like complete.na, I think, or complete.cases, something like that. So you could try this one, right? No missing. It'll returns a logical vector indicating which cases are complete, so they have no missing values. Like that's one you could do. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. Like in it, there's a lot of R can handle a lot of different NA stuff. So there's various ways.
Okay, that seems fairly. It looks like it did it.
All right, so let's now go down and see what happens after 143. Yeah, I see it just starts over. Okay. So it does it, but it starts over.
Great, I got it.
Cool. All right, so that should do what you want it to do for the most part.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.